Random Rod Shop, folks. Well, this has been a busy, random weekend. We worked on all kinds of stuff. If you're looking for some work, a work video, this ain't it. So, if you keep watching, I appreciate it, but I understand if you don't. I don't know how productive I've been, but we've been busy. My youngest one was out yesterday, and he decided he wanted to get a log splitter. We got one of the power packs from Vivor, off Amazon. It's a 110 motor, and it actually worked pretty good. We had a 3-point log splitter that we had on the back of the 4010, so it seemed like a trivial affair. Hook the hoses up to our 3-point log splitter and call it done. Well, you know how time flies when you're having fun? I think the last time that log splitter was used is probably around 2000. So, it's hard for me to imagine. We're coming up on 2025, so that thing's 25 years old. Needless to say, the piston seals were all rotted out, so we have that thing apart. My oldest one driving a Buick Rainier right now, and I don't know if you're familiar with the Rainiers, but they were good hot rod material. Because you could get the Buick Rainier, what is that, a CXL, I believe? It came with a 5.3 aluminum block, LS, all-wheel drive. I didn't know anything about those things till this one popped up. Anyway, they got airbags on the back of them, and they actually have a compressor in the back back there. You start the car up and it's got limit switches and it all works. Well, apparently the limit switches were not happy, and one of the bags had a blowout. So anyway, you know that Trailblazer that was in the first video, the Trailblazer frame? Well, that was just a regular Trailblazer, and it had springs on the back. That was that was easier than I thought it was going to be. We pulled the coils out of the back of the Trailblazer, and actually they just bolted right into where those airbags were. I was pretty happy about that. Trailing arms. So it occurred to me that if there's folks out there that has never dealt with trailing arms before, I may have been a little cavalier with regard to my build. So here is a set of trailing arms. I want to show you how much flex the factory puts into these things. That looks like a good angle. And I'm not pushing very hard. Can you see that flex? So, in an normal truck that has a lot of suspension travel, you put that tubing like I've got. If you put that tubing in your pickup for trailing arms, I will assure you, you're going to break something. Because in the standard configuration, right, with the standard suspension on these old trucks, this thing moves a lot. I was doing a little bit of, guesstimating and eyeballing, and I'm not so sure they don't twist about 15 to 20 degrees. Now, I don't know that number for a fact, but they twist a lot if you take the standard pickup and you take it to full range. So, word to the wise, be cautious. I looked online, and there is a lot of people who sell solid trailing arms. Now, I assume that most people that buy those have lowered trucks, right? My 71, I actually went out and measured it today. I've only got about 4 inches of up travel, and given that the springs bolt top and bottom, on these old trucks. So there's a bolt that goes in the top of the coil spring and a bolt that goes in the bottom, so it kind of ties everything together. In my situation, that suspension don't move very much. The bushings, as near as I can tell, the bushings will take up the amount of twist that I need. Now that said, there's a good chance the bushings aren't going to last a lifetime. These happen to be the trailing arms out of that 67 pickup. And I know these are the factory trailing arms. I'm pretty sure that it's never had a set of bushings in it. I don't think I'd say the same thing to a pickup has solid trailing arms, no matter how little suspension you got. Because anything that's off parallel is gonna, right? In factory form, these twist. With those tubular control arms or trailing arms, all the twist is in the bushing. We hope there's not any twisting going on around the U-bolts. But stuff's gonna break, right? Don't kid yourself. You need to go into those tubing trailing arms knowing what you're getting into. All right. Well, the other thing we worked on today is so you can tell there's a lot of piddly stuff, and that seems to be the way this weekend went. The other thing, for those you've been watching, you probably, to me, it seems like every other video I'm griping about the Hydro Boost line on that International leaking. I have put O-rings on it, I have tightened it, and I just can't figure out, I don't know. I think a lot of it, when I had to bend the dickens out of those stinking lines to get them in there. The standard line wasn't happy. So I finally ordered a line kit. Basically make your own high pressure line. I forget what the pressure of that power steering pump is, but I think it's somewhere around 2,000 PSI, 1,700, something like that. So you can't just use a rubber hose. So let me show you this in case you guys haven't seen these things. So I ordered, it's a double braided steel hose, and I ordered the black, right? You can get it with stainless, you can get it whatever. I decided on black. This nut goes on here, and do I have one that's already made here? Yeah, here we go. So that's what it looks like when it's together. Let me take this tape off here. So first thing you do is you screw this nut down, and it's left-hand threads. So it gets screwed down all the way like that until you look down inside there until it comes all the way to the top. Then you screw this in. All right. This top piece is threaded, so as you screw this, it forces it into the hose. And then you just tighten it all down. I've had good luck out of these. I don't know about you guys, but I've had good luck out of this system. Don't know that I can actually identify a problem I've had over the years. They're not the cheapest, but you know, they will get you out of a bind, and I like having this system because it's kind of generic. Until I can afford to buy a real hose crimper and make my own hydraulic lines. This works pretty well for me. Anyway, got some AN fittings. I didn't realize these. I guess I should have looked. I didn't realize these were aluminum, but I got a bunch of connectors. Right, so I screwed this into one of these. Let's see. I guess I screwed one of these into the Hydro Boost, and I screwed one into the power steering pump, and used a line I made with that to connect them. And what do you know? It doesn't leak. The other thing we worked on was trying to, when I got the International all together and got all the bolts tight, for some strange reason, the The truck looked like it was broke between the cab and the bed. Honest, I thought I fixed that. So, oh my goodness. You know, aligning panels, you'd think I wouldn't underestimate the amount of pain that can cause. Anyway, a good part of the day is dinking with trying to line that stuff up. I got it all done, except for except for the driver's door. It is still causing me pain. But I think that's one of those. You know, we get a little downtime. We're going to bring it in, and we'll spend an hour here, an hour there. At some point, this thing's going to get aligned. Brought the Model T in. It's been down in the other shop, and it started. I was just pretty happy about that. If you guys are, if you're interested in kind of going through that, we can go through that sometime. So, what's the next thing? Well, I'm going to get the trailer arms on the 57. I know I said that like 4 times in the last video. That's what you get when you make a video over, multiple hours. But we're going to get that 57 in. I want to get it up on wheels. I need to order some coil springs. I haven't got those ordered yet. So I'm going to order some 4-inch drop springs for the backs. Get those in. Get the 57 on wheels. 2025 is going to be kind of the year of the 7s. We are going to get started back again on this 67 Camaro. Now, this thing, I replaced all the sheet metal from the dash to the trunk weather seal. It has rockers, quarter panels, outer wheel wells. The subframe needs to be cleaned and painted. I've got all new suspension components for it. I've got it on a frame stand still. I built the assembly stand that way because I had to put the whole floor pan and frame rails and everything in. So it was in multiple pieces. So I've got it up there. Before I take it off of that thing, I want to go through it one more time and make sure that I didn't miss any welds, or where I thought I welded, it actually didn't weld. Right? You guys have probably figured that out. You weld 2 or 3 pieces of metal together. Sometimes you just don't get it right. So anyway, I'm going to crawl under that thing and go get my light and get my little putty knife so I can pry. And we're going to make sure the bottom is all welded together. Once that's done, I can get it on wheels. I have a 12-bolt rear end out of a 67 Impala. I think we talked about that before. It has 1998, 99 Camaro rear disc brakes on it. I ordered a set of, the axles in are actually factory Camaro axles. Then that works just fine with those 98, 99 Camaro brakes. I think that's all the way up to 2002. So disc brakes on the back. I pulled the disc brakes off of the front of that same Camaro and cut the hubs down. So this is going to have, 98 to 2000 Camaro disc all the way around. So I have everything to put this on wheels. It's waiting on me to crawl under it and make sure everything is right underneath it. Have all of the original sheet. It's not original to the car, but I have pretty much all the sheet metal now. I've got an SS hood, SS trunk lid. I'm going to put RS parking lights in it, and we're going to do some work on the grill. Kind of excited about that. So, yeah, I'm excited to get to that one. The 67 Mustang Fastback over on the other side. The sheet metal is pretty much done. I think it's all sanded down. It is ready for epoxy primer, and then we can do the body work. But it's got a new firewall. It's got a new cowl. Floor pans, let's see what else. I think that's all. Oh, it's got front frame rails too, so I had to put those on. So those two are close to getting the epoxy primer. I'm waiting to epoxy prime the Mustang so I can epoxy prime the Camaro at the same time. So those two, the 67 pickup, you guys saw me drag in the bed sides. I'm just procrastinating doing sheet metal work again. I'm not overly anxious to dig into a project like that again, but it would appear that that's what we're going to do. So hopefully that'll be a pretty quick job. You know, I've messed with the Chevy before, and then the 57. So I actually don't know what we're going to get into with that one. That one is, you know, when you frame swap, there's all kinds of surprises. My thought this year is I'm going to try to rotate common task. So we're going to try to get sheet metal and then get things in primer, epoxy primer, and then work on mechanicals and body fit up and stuff like that. I kind of lumped a big job together, didn't I? Two big jobs together. But anyway, that's my plan right now, is to kind of focus on those 4 vehicles. And again, all kinds of stuff seems to jump up. We've got this 93 4-wheel drive that we're going to put a square body crew cab on. If you're interested in that, let me know. We can put that one. We can show that one on the channel. I'm kind of excited about that one. It'll be a crew cab dually, long wheelbase or long bed. It's 1978 square body, sitting on the 4-wheel drive diesel dually 93 chassis. That one's exciting. I'm gonna put an MV4500 in the 71. So there's lots of random projects coming up, and I have just rambled and rambled. If you're still here, I appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Random at Random Rod Shop, and we're out of here.